On today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and bizarre TikToks that will make you question reality.
Eddie Griffin, ladies and gentlemen, he has talked about the Earth being flat for a long time. Let's get into it.
Wants to go to outer space. Just like every other billionaire. I need to go to outer space.
That's true.
Out in outer space.
Why y'all trying to go out there?
And they never make it. The rocket ship hits the firmament, and the firmament stops it. Ain't nobody been to the moon. Ain't nobody been outside this giant cage we're trapped in. The firmament is real. This is why rocket ships take off and they start shooting at an angle. They'll scrape the firmament and they always land in the ocean. Then they shoot some grainy film that they were on the moon. It scraped the surface of the firmament, landed. It's all in one day, but the landing is like a week later. But that's when they show it. All the shit happened in one day. There's no satellites out there either, nigga.
Yeah, because they ain't supposed to be out there.
There's no satellites.
You know, rockets, they have so many compartments that break off when you go. So how does the shit the same when it lands?
Yeah.
Same as it takes off.
Or even the satellite. Yeah.
No, there's no satellites. They are hanging satellites in the firmament. This is a GPS system. And that's the permanent GPS system. They call it space. But the space between Earth and God is called the firmament. And until he opens that up, it's going to be continued. Firmament. That's called the firmament. It's in the Bible. Nothing will get through the firmament. Flat Earth is real. Right? The world is not round. If it was, I could disprove this many times. But anyway, there's an ice wall around our three-dimensional world called Earth that lays on a two-dimensional plane. But we're trapped in the center on this planet in an ice wall. This is why if you fly from anywhere on Earth to Australia, to Antarctica, why do you always have to fly to England? To make it seem like the world is round, you had to travel that far. From Florida to Antarctica is about four and a half hours on a straight shot. So why the fuck you gotta fly from Florida to London and then there? Anywhere you come from, you gotta go to London and London and then.
They're controlling the airways.
No, you're going to London because the reptilians there said you must come through there.
Yo, Eddie Griffin talking that talk, y'all. I swear.
So did y'all know that if we have terrorist attacks or we have a widespread natural disaster, the United States will break up into districts like the Hunger Games? And by the way, this for entertainment purposes only. This is what the districts would look like if a natural disaster was to happen. Basically, FEMA in the states will have power over these particular districts. Let's see what the news had to say about this.
Centers will be spread out throughout the United States in most of these eventually. And it gives FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security jurisdiction over what goes on in these places during a time of emergency.
Okay, I want to go into what, because this act does make some specific examples, some exclusions, set some limitations, I should say.
Listen.
So the National Emergency Center Establishment Act What it does not do, it does not authorize any federal officer or employee to force an individual to enter a national emergency center or prevent an individual from leaving a national emergency center. So, Bob, it looks to me like there are some safeguards there. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Well, I'd like to think so. And this was actually one of the other things that was changed in this new version of the bill. They added this. But if you read what they're saying, you know, federal officer or federal employee, that doesn't cover members of the military. And since these are going to be installed in decommissioned and existing military bases, you're going to have people from the military there. So I would think they...
Y'all ever wonder, like in your own local town, you ever see all these National Guards, trucks and trains and stuff just shipping all this equipment to a certain area? And you ever just thought, like, where is this going? They trying to get ready for this. They trying to get everything set up. You're going to have these camps in different areas. And there's going to, like you said, there's already going to be bases here set up. And those people on those bases aren't going to leave. I hope this does not happen. I ain't trying to see no Hunger Games.
Will have people, namely in the military, who would be able to force people to stay there or prevent them from leaving if that is their what they want to do.
Now, for type.
Considering everything that's going on right now, that's valuable information. But in the Hunger Games settings, y'all don't have nothing on District Number 6. We got Texas and Louisiana combined together. The only competition that I see that we have is District Number 4.
Hold on, man. You sleeping on District 5, homie. District 5, man. The Midwest ain't nothing to play with.
But then again, we got districts to begin with. Y'all let me know what district y'all from in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom and stay tuned. By the way, this for entertainment purposes only.
Man, y'all think it's going to really be some camps like that? I hope not.
To this, but now with fresh eyes, now that we have open eyes and an open mind and we're a level of awareness, have a look at what's really going on. Dave, doesn't that look like George Bush and Tony Blair to you? Having a piss up, having a laugh?
Oh, snap.
Is it, well, is that, no, you know what that is, FCB. Holy, I just realized that. Hold on. You're close. Andy Carter.
Right
That's the image
God.
from 9/11. Holy crap, bro.
This is
Zoom back
what
in on
they've been
that so
doing to
everyone can
us.
see it.
No way.
Look at this. Zoom back in, FCB, so everyone can see. Now zoom back out.
No way. Did y'all see it? I seen it.
Was a famous Spanish model who was invited to an Illuminati party. She ran out from everything she had seen. Listen.
Can we get a translator in the comments? I don't know what she's saying. Oh, okay, it's time not to buy it. That what?
What if I told you that the year might actually be 1724? In the 1990s, several German historians proposed a radical idea that the Middle Ages in fact didn't exist and we are actually living in the 18th century. In 1582,
just so you guys know, I believe in this theory all the way. I don't think there was a Middle Ages, and if there was, it was short-lived and very it was in one section of the world, but it wasn't everywhere for sure.
the Pope introduced the Gregorian calendar. Prior to this, most of the world was using the Julian calendar. The Julian calendar had a leap year every 4 years, in which an extra day was added. Since the solar year is technically a little over 365 days, the Julian calendar gains a day every 128 years. To account for this, when the Gregorian calendar was introduced, they should have shifted the date by 13 days. So here we have two possibilities. A pope had done the math wrong, 300 years in between then and now don't actually exist, and large chunks of history have been fabricated. But the phantom time hypothesis points out that it's way more than just a pope making a simple mistake. It points out the lack of records of big events.
Everyone knows about Epstein Island, but have you heard about Rothschild's Island.
I don't even know who that is.
The Rothschilds are like the most mainstream name when it comes to the Illuminati. Everybody knows about it. But yeah, they bought an island off the coast of Antarctica. Why would you want an island in Antarctica?
Why would anyone go to Antarctica?
I think there could be like secret tunnels they have built in under there.
Your go-to is always secret tunnels.
There's no other reason for them to have an island.
Penguins?
He said penguins.
Well, here's some further
Big facts.
If you haven't watched my hidden symbolism and Drew video, go watch now. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the badges of Justin's brand. First up, we have the Panda, which we all know what that refers to. We have already covered this one in another video, but with the Drew in this font upside down, it really resembles hell. This obviously speaks for itself. This design was on a top. As you can see, the Drew on the pepperoni pizza symbolizing he was the...
What do you think are the most serious issues faced by conservationists and World Wildlife Fund over the next 20 years or so?
95% of the whole of the Atlantic rainforest in Brazil has disappeared in the last 100 years. There is simply nowhere for these animals to live. At the basis of it all is this colossal increase in the human population. It's one of the living species of the planet, but it's reaching...
Did a TV channel just accidentally play out Prince Philip's obituary before he had died? Well, according to social media reports, yes. So an eagle-eyed Twitter user managed to capture the moment on camera that the BBC allegedly switches over from a live broadcast of an MP to random 1930s clips of the Duke of Edinburgh. In the live broadcast, the MP is cut off live to switch over to black and white clips of Prince Philip. The black and white video plays out twice before becoming glitchy, and then the screen turns to black. At the end of the video, the BBC puts out an apology. Other social media users also claimed they saw the same thing, with this man tweeting out, "Did someone press the emergency Prince Philip obituary button during the Salmond inquiry?" To which he was met with comments agreeing. Well, there's no evidence to suggest that the clip came from an obituary piece. What I can tell you from someone who works in media is that these things are prepared in advance.
So they make a hole in, and they tie string around, and then they put all around the body, but they're naked, and they got this tattoo on the private with like little piercings.
Okay.
Not like earrings, but like little gold piercings around the private.
Yeah.
And they all dance around with skulls on in the church there.
Okay.
So they have skulls, like the teachers and the staff, they got 20 skulls each.
And how do you know they've got 20 each?
Yes, because I counted once. They were like, there's one here, and then there's one here, and there's one on the neck here. Like they looks like skulls everywhere, on the knees, on the elbows. It looks like armor.
Okay. So if I was to try and find these skulls, where would I find them?
Yes, in the church.
Where in the church?
So there's this secret rooms. They got secret rooms.
Go on, tell me, how do I find the secret?
So when you go in the secret rooms, because they hide it in loads of places.
Would you be able to help me find them, would you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
so
but they just hide them anywhere. They just hide it like in one place, then they move it to other place, then they move it other place. There's just...
Okay, so I go into the church now.
Yes, and they hide. Usually they hide it in their houses because they have parties in their houses.
Okay.
Them house parties are something different.
My teacher, he lives in Highgate.
Right.
Yes. You can see his house because his Porsche. Yeah. He got Porsche and it's just at the front of his house.
Okay. So, how do you know he keeps them in his house?
Because I know because of...
Do not search for the terms discussed in this video on Yandex or elsewhere, as you could be committing a crime. The findings have been reported to authorities, and the research supervised by legal counsel. No illegal imagery is shown. Do not contact or harass anyone mentioned.
Okay. Y'all ready for this?
After thinking for a while on how to best disseminate the information I've received, I've settled on dropping this particular discovery in its own shorter video.
The problem now is that people now know that I am interested in Lost Glove photos.
And the rest of the leads and new testimonies will be in part 3.
And then they made each
little boy in turn come up and stab him.
I'm doing this because I consider this finding a bit more time sensitive, and I've already received veiled threats and attempts to hack my social media. I knew I might receive some trolls when giving out an email and asking for information, which on one hand has proven remarkably useful. But I wasn't prepared for how sophisticated some of these phishing attempts would be. While some are, of course, benign spam attempts that we all get, others seem designed solely to intimidate, like trying to reset my Twitter password, or calling my phone, but not saying anything. Among the threats I've received was this one. Quote, "You have no idea what you are getting into here, or what kind of danger you are in."
Hold on, y'all. Should we play the rest of this video? This man is clearly getting threats and whatever else to his email. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know what we about to see here. I haven't even seen this video yet.
Think enemy of the state meets arrival. Stay far away from, and then it shows my location. Let's assume for a second that this person's not a troll, and they really do know something I don't. Well then, what is it exactly that I'm getting into here? What is it that I'm in danger of?
I'm looking into it. It appeared that this girl was one of many.
A former Scotland Yard detective, John Wedger, was part of a small team investigating allegations in London.
We had dozens of young kids aging from 9 to 14 years old.
But when Officer Wedger, quote, dug too deep, he was given a similar warning.
I was brought before someone who is now a very, very high-ranked officer in the UK indeed. And he said, "You will be thrown to the wolves. You have no idea who and what you are dealing with." He said, "I'm warning you now, you must back away."
Although it can be disconcerting, and at times I do wonder if what I'm doing here is even worth it. As of now, I have no intention of stopping.
That's what this about, y'all. Okay, we all in.
No.
Expose them all.
The new information you're about to see ostensibly involves Tom Hanks.
First of all, it looks like an ad for Chevy.
Whether or not Hanks is aware of any of this remains to be seen. Nonetheless, some of the images he's posted to his social media are not only relevant to the findings, it's how they were discovered. The person who provided this tip wishes to remain anonymous under the alias Veritas Fatior. But why Tom Hanks? An actor I've loved since I was a kid. A man whose films are consistently inspirational, influential, and iconic. This is true.
I'm just going to be honest, man. I'm going to throw this out there. Those be the main ones. It'd be the ones that they portray as being your idols, the ones you look up to, the ones that get all the big roles, the best movies, they get the red carpet. Those be the main ones.
But it's also true that recently, a new range of theories have begun to emerge, showing a different side to the Hollywood actor. Many of the claims are unfounded and nonsensical.
I mean, hold on. Let me pause real quick. Just think about it, right? Think about in Hollywood. There's probably 1,000 people trying to get one role for a movie, right? And there's a lot of big name people too. What are you going to do to get that role? You know? And I think that's what's really going on in Hollywood. You know, they want to see how far you're going to go and what you're going to do to be able to get these roles and to be able to do these things, because we're the ones that are paying you. We're the ones that are giving you these roles. So where are you going? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying they're all bullshit, but as I did with part 1, no theories will be given, just information and context. So one reason some have recently changed their perspective of Hanks surrounds the testimony of a former Hollywood actor, Isaac Cappy.
Oh, I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also a pedophile. Tom Hanks, folks, is a pedophile. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new.
Isaac claimed that within Hollywood, a high society is involved in child trafficking.
Yeah, Tom Hanks. Tom fucking Hanks, guys. Pedophile. Called out, no response.
Information he claimed was privy to because of his time spent among Hollywood's gentility.
I'm in their source code. These people are being taken up north to San Francisco, some sort of R&D project for a new Terminator. And this, make no mistake, this is a cult. There is a widespread cult that is worldwide. And by the way, the proof is in the fucking pudding. If I'm lying, sue me. Sue me. Great. Let's go to court. Let's have discovery.
As Cappy's following grew, he took measures to ensure his safety, one of which he alleged included a, quote, dead man's switch.
What does that do? It means they can't kill me, which is good because I like to stay alive. A dead man switch is basically it's like if you die, then like stuff happens, okay? Like information goes out. They can try to kill me. You know, good luck with that.
Many expected Cappy to continue expanding upon his testimony. Instead, he uploaded one of his final videos.
My anger at these people, my anger consumed me. Did I lie about Seth Green? No, Seth Green's a pedophile. Am I afraid of something? Well, I should be, because bad things are coming my way.
3 days later, Cappy was found dead in what local authorities assert was a suicide.
Wow. Suicide, though?
Yeah, called him.
It's worth noting that Cappy was asked here if he currently felt suicidal.
I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal.
Purportedly, Cappy jumped from that bridge and was hit by a truck. Soon after, a controversial video began making its rounds on the internet.
Oh, I think I've seen this video before. Oh, wow, look, there.
You promised you wouldn't hurt my mom and dad if I came back, right?
Right. I won't hurt you either.
A woman named Sarah Ruth Ashcraft accused Tom Hanks of purchasing her from her father. She claims to have most of her childhood.
I depersonalize a lot of this because it's really ugly, tough stuff. And I'm glad something's being done about it now. Because nobody should have to look back on their childhood memories and realize that the things that they thought were just meaningless and innocent were anything but that. Nobody should have to discover these things about their own life.
I
noticed you have this obsession on Instagram with lost gloves.
Well, it's lost objects, but it started with lost gloves. And first of all, there's a story behind them all. What happened? What happened to its mate? How did this glove get lost? Is someone going to keep the other glove at home on the off chance that they're going to pair it up? It's a little bit of, Romeo.
Nah, man, this is creepy right here. Like, I don't know why I'm getting weird vibes about this, but it feels like, he takes these pictures and stuff because I got another one. This where it happened. Snatched one up over here. Got one from over here. Because children come up missing like crazy in the United States. And The proof's in the pudding, man.
Juliet kind of quality to it.
You're saying there's a little bit of a hint of sadness to these. It's like it's telling you a tale, but you don't know what the tale is.
They're all bittersweet city adventures.
Let's take a look at some of these. I want to put this up. This is one you took, and
yeah. Now
tell me what's going on here. What is this so evocative to you?
Well, first of all, I don't touch them. I just see them and I photograph them. So I have
You
never.
don't want your DNA on those.
Well, it could be a crime scene. Let's
He just told us right there. He just told us, y'all.
not give the cops a break.
Notice that in this image, we see another glove. Notice that in this image, we see another glove. But this time, we also see letters. Look closely and spell them out for yourself. What does the top row spell? S-R-C. And what does the bottom row spell?
USA.
U-S-A. Here's what happens when you run a search for SRC USA on DuckDuckGo. It shows nothing out of the ordinary. The same goes for the Images tab. And the same also goes for Google. In the trailer update video I uploaded prior, I provided tips for independent researchers to use. Among those was to utilize multiple search engines, including the Russian search engine Yandex. It's important to understand that just like Google or Bing, Yandex does not show child pornography and is not to be confused with a dark web search engine, many of which lead to an array of CP, no matter what you type in. In part 3, we'll attempt to expose an apparent distributor who operates within these networks. Back to Yandex. Similar Yandex is to Google. Here are some control searches. When typing kids, the images are as they should be. The same goes for any other mixture of SRC. So if we search RCS, RCS USA, and some others, all of them are fine. But what happens if we type in SRC USA?
Wow. Oh no, y'all. Oh no, listen. I know y'all said my son was cute in past videos, but he will no longer ever be on this video or on this channel because of stuff like this. This is disgusting. That's all I'm gonna say. It's nasty, y'all.
In part 1, I showed how the term BH Kids was almost certainly a pedophile code, as it revealed indecent images of children on Google, some of which cryptically But there are some who claimed I was making a mistake, pointing to the German use of BH, which means bra. This definitely helps to explain why, quote, bra was found next to many of the images, but it does not explain the BH Kids logo on the Vietnamese YouTube channel, where I found the term in the first place. Furthermore, one of the most suggestive images BH Kids pulled up was of this young girl, who I've chosen to pixelate, given that the image has already been printed onto a foreign newspaper. Now, if Google's suggestion of this image only had to do with the German word for bra typed next to kids, and not potentially indicative of a larger operation, then how do you explain this?
All day yesterday doing a shoot with the Pizza Slime blog. Was that fun for you?
Oh, wow. Y'all, all I can do is shake my head because this is crazy. I did not know we would be watching this video today. But we all in. Oh, no. Mm. Man's got a whole virus or something? It's a lot of websites you're going to have to report, my dude. Oh, we know they big time for it out there. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it's all up on they Symbols, like they tell us, they put it right there in plain sight, y'all.
The term SRC, which is typically short for source or search, appears to act, in this case, as a kind of algorithmic glue for online predators on Yandex. These images are then collected and shared on Yandex profiles.
Mm-mm.
What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call
mental freeze when these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut.
Listen, y'all. I did not know we was gonna watch that video today, but clearly it's some wild stuff going on out here. So you got to be careful, man, and we got to protect your children at all times because it's just messed up. You don't know what's going on online or where these photos are being spread to, you know? And then for all those people doing AI imagery, you know, where you want to take pictures of your kid and put them on this AI stuff, don't do that either because who knows where those photos are going. They probably got AI pictures of your kids out here. So, man, look, this world is just wild.
In the ocean, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call them mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. She said that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in G-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'ma play it as a song. Y'all already know my mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought. No flow rain was falling down. See that thing was all around, see my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn. Flow was cool, but I still felt wrong. Energy up, you can feel my surge. I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight.
That's crazy. Tavistock Institute, y'all.
The Vatican is likely the most corrupt institution in our world. The Vatican is no stranger to murder, child trafficking, drug trafficking, sex exploitation, and cover-ups. Arguably one of the most famous basilicas in the world, underneath it lies a mass graveyard. So located about 5 stories beneath the basilica is actually another temple dating back to the Roman Empire. That's over 2,000 years of dead bodies. If you're wondering if those bodies are of Christians or Catholics, they're not. It was actually used for pagans. And here are some of the mosaic tiles that they found beneath the Vatican in the temple that it's built on top of. So here's a quote from one of the popes. I believe that the church not only should apologize to the person who is gay, whom it has offended, but it has to apologize to the poor, to the exploited women, to children exploited for labor. It has to ask forgiveness for having blessed many weapons. That's a little ironic considering what the Vatican has done to make sure that it's always protected and people never expose them. This is Pope John Paul I, and he died 33 days after his election. Now, the conspiracy around his death is that he found out the Vatican was laundering mass amounts of money, and he was going to rectify the situation of getting rid of everybody in the Vatican that was corrupt. His plans were announced straight after he became the Pope, and he died 33 days later.
33.
In 2015, it was uncovered that 2 cases of child were found within the Vatican walls. And get this, not everybody involved was named, only a couple names took the blow for everybody else in the Vatican. And then the year before that, the government actually intercepted 3 deliveries directed to the Vatican, all containing drugs. Cocaine was found in condoms inside of these 3 deliveries that were intercepted. They were...
Listen, man, the Vatican out here doing crazy stuff, man. You can't put them above nobody else because they some of the I ain't even gonna say the words. I don't want this video to get, flagged or anything like that. But we all know what be going on, so don't put anything past these people. Anybody that's up here, right, or tries to be up here above anyone else, usually got some dirt going on.
Handed over to the Vatican in hopes that somebody within the walls would disclose who this was going to, but nobody came forward. This is St. Peter's obelisk, and not a lot of people know where it comes from. One of Rome's cruelest emperors, Caligula, actually stole this from one of Egypt's cities, Heliopolis. He stole it from Egypt and he transported it to Rome, and you know what he did with it? It was used to murder and execute Christians. They would round up every single Christian that they could find, chain them, bound them, bring them to the obelisk, and brutally murder them. Vatican.
Crazy. Grand Grimoire or the Red
Books
Dragon.
is called the Grand Grimoire or the Red. And this book is about black magic. It harnesses spells and rituals. But many believe this is the book that they use to summon the devil when they are selling their souls. Kind of like the Book of the Illuminati. The conspiracies of the Vatican can go on and on and on. It's truly a never-ending cycle. One thing we do know, the people in the Vatican are evil and corrupt. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Yeah, that was a lot to take in. Not gonna lie, it's a lot of corrupt things going on in this world, and it's a lot of corrupt people. Sometimes your idols aren't really your idols. They're also the enemy as well. These are some of the most creepy and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.